What if I told you that the biggest reason you can't speak in English is not grammar? And it's not vocabulary either. English is not grammar. And it's not vocabulary either. For a long time, I thought I had the same problem. I could understand English videos. I could understand many English words. But whenever someone started talking to me in English, I froze. My mind went completely blank. I knew the words, but I couldn't speak. Have you ever experienced that? If your answer is yes, then this video is exactly for you. Because today, I'm not going to teach you difficult grammar rules or hundreds of new words. Instead, I'll show you how to think, understand, and respond naturally in real conversations. Understand and respond naturally in real English conversations. By the end of this video, you'll learn practical conversation skills that you can use every single day. So stay with me until the end, because today's lesson might completely change the way you learn and speak English. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Horizon. I'm Hamzad, and I'm really happy that you're here today. Before we begin, let me tell you something from my own journey. There was a time when I thought I knew English. I had learned grammar. I had memorized hundreds of English words. I could even understand English videos without much difficulty. But whenever someone spoke to me in English and expected an answer, everything changed. My heart started beating faster. My mind went completely blank. I knew the answer, but the words just wouldn't come out. At that moment, I realized something very important. Speaking English is not about knowing more grammar. It's not about memorizing thousands of words. It's about learning how to think, listen, and respond naturally in real conversations. That realization completely changed the way I learned English. And today, I'm going to share the same method with you. In this series, you won't just memorize sentences. You'll understand why people say them, when they use them, and how you can answer confidently. Every conversation will be simple. Every difficult word will be explained. Every expression will be used in a real-life situation. So if you've ever felt nervous while speaking English, don't worry. By the end of this lesson, you'll feel much more confident. Now let's begin our very first conversation and learn in the speaking. English the way people actually speak it in everyday life. Part 1. Why do we freeze while speaking English? Before we start our first conversation, I want to ask you a simple question. Have you ever answered an English question perfectly, but only after the conversation was over? Someone asked you something. You stayed silent. You smiled awkwardly. Maybe you just said yes or okay, and then 5 minutes later, the perfect English answer suddenly came into your mind. If that has ever happened to you, you're not alone. It happens to millions of English learners around the world. The good news is, there is nothing wrong with your intelligence. There is nothing wrong with your memory. You simply haven't trained your brain to respond quickly in English. Think about a child. A child doesn't start by learning grammar rules. A child listens, then repeats, then speaks, again and again. That's exactly how we are going to learn in this series. No pressure, no fear, just real conversations that you can use every day. Here's one thing I want you to remember throughout this journey. Don't try to speak perfect English. Try to communicate. Because people don't remember perfect grammar. They remember confidence. And confidence comes from practice, not from memorizing rules. So from today, promise yourself one thing. I will speak English every day, even if I make mistakes. That one habit can completely change your English speaking skills. Now, are you ready? Great! Let's begin with our first real-life conversation. Part 2. First real-life conversation. Meeting someone for the first time. Imagine this. You're attending an English class for the first time. You don't know anyone. A student walks toward you with a smile. Take a deep breath. Listen carefully to the conversation. After that, we'll understand every sentence together.
Hi, is this seat free?
Yes, it is. Please have a seat.
Thanks, my name is Alex. What's your name?
I'm Hamza. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Is this your first day here?
Yes, it is. I'm a little nervous.
Don't worry. Everyone feels nervous on the first day.
That makes me feel better. Thank you.
You're welcome. Where are you from?
I'm from Pakistan. What about you?
I'm from Canada.
That's nice. I hope we become good friends.
I'm sure we will.
Now let's understand this conversation step by step. Hi, is this seat free? Instead of saying, can I sit here? Native speakers often say, is this seat free? It's simple, polite, and very common. Please have a seat. It sounds warm, friendly, and respectful. You can use it in classrooms, offices, waiting rooms, or when welcoming a guest. I'm a little nervous. This is a very useful sentence. Whenever you're feeling shy, worried, or uncomfortable before speaking English, simply say, I'm a little nervous. Don't hide your feelings. Simple and honest English sounds natural. Everyone feels nervous on the first day. This sentence is used to encourage someone. It tells the other person, you're not the only one. Everyone feels the same at the beginning. This is how real conversations build comfort and friendship. Now that you understand these expressions, let's move to another everyday conversation where you'll learn how to continue talking naturally without getting stuck. Continue talking naturally without getting stuck. Part 3. How to keep a conversation going. Now imagine something. You have introduced yourself. You know the other person's name. But suddenly, the conversation stops. Many English learners think, now what should I say? This is where most people become silent. But don't worry. You don't need difficult English. You only need to ask simple questions. Let's watch another conversation.
So what do you do?
I'm a student. I'm learning English these days.
That's great. Why are you learning English?
Because I want to speak confidently and get better job opportunities.
That's a wonderful goal.
What about you? What do you do?
I'm a software engineer.
Wow, that sounds interesting.
Yes, I really enjoy my work.
How long have you been doing this job?
For about 5 years.
That's amazing. I'm sure you've learned a lot.
Yes, every day teaches me something new.
Now let's understand the important expressions. What do you do? This is one of the most common questions in English. People ask this when they want to know about your job or profession. Why are you learning English? This question is very common in English classes. You can answer naturally. Because I want to travel. Because I want a better job. Because I want to study abroad. Because I want to speak confidently. These are real answers that native speakers easily understand. What about you? This is a powerful expression. Instead of asking the whole question again, simply say, what about you? For example, I'm from Pakistan. What about you? I like coffee. What about you? I'm learning English every day. What about you? It's short, natural, and used in almost every conversation. Here's today's speaking tip. Good conversations are not created by using big words. They are created by showing interest in the other person. Ask simple questions. Listen carefully. Smile. And keep the conversation moving. Now let's move to the next real-life situation where you'll learn how to make friends and speak naturally without feeling nervous. Part 4. The biggest mistake English learners make. Before we move to our next conversation, let me tell you about the biggest mistake I used to make. Whenever I wanted to speak English, I tried to make the perfect sentence in my mind first. I would think, is my grammar correct? Am I using the right tense? What if I make a mistake? By the time I finished thinking, the conversation was already over. Does that sound familiar? If yes, then remember this. English is not a school exam. It's a way to communicate. People don't expect you to speak perfect English. They just want to understand you. So stop chasing perfection. Start chasing communication. Even if your sentence is simple, speak it. Even if you make a small mistake, speak it. Because every conversation makes you better. Now let's see another real-life conversation. Conversation, talking during a break.
Hey, do you usually come here every day?
Yes, I do. I've started coming here recently.
That's nice. How are you finding it so far?
I'm really enjoying it. I'm learning something new every day.
That's great to hear.
What do you usually do after class?
I usually go to a cafe and practice English with my friends.
Really? That sounds like a great idea.
You should join us sometime.
I'd love to. Thank you for inviting me.
You're always welcome.
Now let's understand the key expressions. How are you finding it so far? This doesn't mean someone is asking where something is. This is a very common question when someone starts a new job, a new class, or a new activity. That sounds like a great idea. Use this whenever you like someone's suggestion. Examples: let's watch a movie. That sounds like a great idea. We should practice English together. That sounds like a great idea. I'd love to. This is much more natural than simply saying yes. When someone invites you somewhere, you can reply, I'd love to. It sounds friendly, polite, and confident. Today's conversation tip. Don't try to translate every sentence from your own language into English. Instead, learn complete English expressions and use them naturally. The more expressions you learn, the more confident you'll become. Now let's continue with another conversation that will help you speak English more naturally in everyday life. Part 5. The secret that changed my English. Before we continue, let me share something that completely changed my English speaking. One day, I stopped asking myself, how can I speak perfect English? Instead, I started asking, how can I keep the conversation going? That one question changed everything. I realized that good speakers don't always know more English. They simply know how to continue a conversation. They ask questions. They listen carefully. They react naturally. And that's exactly what we're going to practice now. Conversation, talking about hobbies.
So, what do you like to do in your free time?
1. Enjoy reading books and watching documentaries.
That's interesting. What kind of books do you like?
I mostly read self-improvement and business books.
Nice! Who is your favorite author?
I really like James Clear. His ideas are simple and practical.
I've heard about him, but I haven't read his books yet.
You should start with Atomic Habits. It's an amazing book.
Thanks for the recommendation. Sure.
You're welcome. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Let's understand the conversation. What do you like to do in your free time? It's one of the easiest ways to start a friendly conversation. I've heard about him. This doesn't mean you've met the person. For example, I've heard about that restaurant. I've heard about your city. You should start with, use this when giving a recommendation. Examples. You should start with this book. You should start with beginner lessons. You should start practicing every day. It sounds polite and helpful. Today's speaking tip. When someone is talking, don't think about your next sentence. First, listen carefully, then answer. Great conversations are built by good listeners, not just good speakers. The more you listen, the more naturally you'll speak. Now let's move to our next real-life conversation. Continue talking even when you don't. Know the other person very well. Part 6. Don't be afraid of silence. Let me ask you one more question. What do you do when there is a few seconds of silence in a conversation? Most English learners panic. They think, I have to say something quickly. And because of that pressure, they become even more nervous. But here's the truth. Silence is normal. Even native English speakers pause before they answer. So if you need 2 or 3 seconds to think, that's completely okay. Take a breath. Smile. Then answer naturally. Remember, speaking slowly with confidence is much better than speaking fast with fear. Now, let's watch another real-life conversation. Conversation at a coffee shop. Hi, I'd like a cup of coffee, please.
Sure. Would you like it hot or iced?
I'd like a hot coffee, please.
What size would you like?
Medium, please.
Would you like anything to eat?
Yes, I'd like a chicken sandwich.
Anything else? Your total is $10.
Here you are.
Thank you. Your order will be ready in a few minutes.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too!
Let's understand the conversation. What can I get for you today? This is a very common question in restaurants and coffee shops. This is one of the most polite ways to order something. Instead of saying, give me a coffee, say, I'd like a cup of coffee, please. It sounds respectful and natural. Anything else? After taking your order, the waiter may ask, anything else? You can answer, no, that's all. Thank you. Or, yes, I'd also like a bottle of water. Here you are. Use this expression whenever you give something to someone. For example, when giving money, when giving a document, when handing over your phone. Simply say, here you are. It sounds natural and polite. Today's speaking tip, you don't need hundreds of difficult words to speak English. If you know the right everyday expressions and practice them regularly, you'll become a confident English speaker much faster. Now, in the next and final part, I'll share the most important habit that helped me speak English confidently. And I'll give you a simple challenge that you can start today. Part 7, the habit that changed everything. Before we end today's lesson, I want to tell you about one small habit that completely changed my English. I stopped waiting for the perfect time to speak. Instead, I started speaking a little every single day. Some days I spoke for just 1 minute. Some days I made many mistakes. Sometimes I forgot simple words. But I never stopped. Slowly, something amazing happened. My confidence started growing. I didn't become fluent in 1 week. I didn't become confident in 1 month. It happened because I practiced consistently. And today, I want you to do the same. Don't compare yourself with people who have been speaking English for years. Compare yourself with the person you were yesterday. If today you can speak 1 sentence better than yesterday, you're making progress. Remember this, fluency is not built in 1 day. It is built 1 conversation at a time. So never be afraid of making mistakes. Every mistake is a lesson. Every conversation is practice. Every day is another chance to improve. Now I have a small challenge for you. After watching this video, stand in front of a mirror. Introduce yourself in English for 1 minute. Don't stop. Don't worry about grammar. Just speak. Tomorrow, do it again. Then the next day, if you continue this habit for 30 days, you'll notice a big difference in your confidence. Believe in yourself. You are much closer to speaking English confidently than you think. Thank you so much for watching today's lesson. I hope this video helped you understand that English is not about perfection. It's about communication. If you enjoyed this lesson and want more real-life conversations with easy explanations, make sure to subscribe to English Horizon. Like this video, share it with your friends, and tell me in the comments, what is the biggest challenge you face while speaking English? I'll read your comments and create future lessons to help you overcome those challenges. Until next time, keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and remember, every conversation makes you a better English speaker. See you in the next video.